Hey guys, Mr. Cookie here, and I've decided that we're going Thanksgiving for the next couple of weeks. Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do a few different recipes, a couple sweet ones, a couple savory. Just let you know what's going on. I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do a Basque style pumpkin cheesecake. So it's not your typical cheesecake. It doesn't have the crust. You do want to get some color, so it's cooked a lot hotter, around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Takes about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, and it's amazing. It's pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Texture's nice and creamy in the middle, nice and caramelized on the outside. Straight soigné. Okay, so we're gonna start making this cream cheese cake. Okay, so 24 ounces of cream cheese. That's a pound and a half at room temperature. Very important to prevent clumps and lumps and the mumps. Okay, so also I'm gonna add 1 cup of tightly packed brown sugar, which is about 180 grams, as well as 54 grams or quarter cup of granulated white sugar. So I like to put that into my stand mixer. Then I slowly bring it up to medium speed. So if you have a KitchenAid, I go to about 6 and I whip it for a few minutes. And then you'll notice it sticks to the side and you're going to have to scrape it down. So you make sure everything's nice and incorporated properly, because you'll have chunks of just cream cheese and stuff in certain spots. So you just want to make sure everything gets fully incorporated. Give it a little scrapey. Nice and scrapey. This is a part of baking, guys. So at this point, I'm going to add in my eggs. So I add in 2 at a time. They're also room temperature, just so you're aware. So leave them out about an hour or so before you need them, maybe 2. And then, yeah, just whip them in there. Also on medium speed. So every once in a while, you're going to have to scrape down the bowl. You're going to have to do that a few times in this recipe, just to make sure everything is nice and gooped together. Gooped, that is actual factual term. Okay? So, yeah, at this point, I'm going to add the pumpkin puree. And that is 15 ounces, so just under a pound. I know you can buy canned pumpkin pie filling, but that has extra things in it. I just went with the pumpkin puree, and I incorporate that in there as well. Also on medium speed. We add 3/4 of a cup of whipping cream, or 180 mils. Okay. Also add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're also going to have to scrape this bowl down again, just so you're aware. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys with what's going on here, but I just want you to see what you really need to do to make sure you get an optimal product here, okay? Okay. Just make sure it's fully mixed. And then from there, we're going to sift our dry ingredients. So you have a 1/4 cup of flour, all-purpose flour. That's about 40 grams. Then I'm going to be adding my spices to this. So we have 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. So it's just a mix that I got from the store. It's pretty good. Then I add some extra spices. Like here, I have half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, as well as ground ginger. It's the same amount. Oh, actually, that is 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. Sorry, my bad, guys. And then we just sift it. A little sifty. So this way, any extra clumps, they're going to be removed, as well as sometimes spices aren't ground as fine as they should be. So you might have chunks of like cinnamon bark or something in there. So I'm just making sure I don't have any extra granular pieces going into the cake that won't dissolve or whatever. And then I add a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly microplained nutmeg. This is wouldn't go through the strainer, as well as the salt. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to use fine salt. You can use kosher salt if you like, but I just find the fine salt will distribute easier within your cake because you don't want to mix it for too long. So I didn't show you guys, but I added all the flour and spice mix at once, and I just mixed it. It takes about, I mix it for about 30 seconds, and then I scrape the bowl, and I make it blast it again for another 10-15 seconds. And then yeah, you got to make sure you scrape the bowl. And this is the consistency you're looking for. Nice and smooth, thick. And then I'm going to pour it into this 9-inch cake pan that I lined with a piece of parchment. You have to make sure the parchment's about 6 inches tall, or 2 inches above your cake ring if it's a 4-inch cake ring, a 4 inches tall cake ring. And then I bake it about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to take about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do it. Just put it in there. Okay, so while that's happening, I'm going to be making a vanilla Chantilly with half a vanilla bean per 1 cup of whipping cream and just about a tablespoon and a half of icing sugar. Not too sweet. Don't really need to add too much more sweetness to the cake while you're eating it. So yeah, scrape the vanilla bean out, and then we put it into the bowl, a mixing bowl as well, and then the cup of whipping cream as well as the icing sugar. So I don't wanna lose you. I don't wanna lose you now. Okay, so we whipped it to like a medium peak, and it's better to make this a few hours ahead so you can set it in the fridge, and the vanilla will come out into your Chantilly a little better. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I slice a nice cheesecake. So I made sure I let this rest at room temperature for about 2 hours, and then I put it in the fridge overnight so it's cold when I'm slicing it right here. So I have a cylinder with hot water in it. I dipped my knife in there. I dried my knife. I slice the cake, wipe my knife again, and then I'm doing another slice. That is how you get clean edges when you slice a cake high in fat. Okay? Let's see this now. First slice is always the hardest. Dang, that's one. Losing track of time, losing track of myself. I can make promises to get into your head. Hey, I just wanna say you are my new craze. If you guys enjoyed this recipe, let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions or critiques, or you guys tried it out and you let me know how it went for you guys, just let me know. It's pretty tasty, and let's keep it going, guys. Keep watching my Thanksgiving series. It'll help you guys out, I think. Maybe, maybe not. It's delicious all the same. Maybe you'll learn something, maybe you won't. But let's keep going. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. Perfect.